I've talked a lot about how easy it is to build six-figure sales with print on demand or digital products on Etsy, but today I'm going to show you. Let's see exactly how easy it is to create wall art that sells like crazy in just a few clicks. Hi, I'm Japs. I've built multiple six and seven-figure Etsy stores in various niches, getting sales like these, and learning the ins and outs of Etsy, Amazon, and more. A wild and crazy event led me to start a totally new life traveling abroad, giving me the unique opportunity to step back, work a lot less, and start sharing all of my Etsy insights with you. So hit that subscribe button, grab a pen and paper, and let's jump in.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. What time is it where you are? Comment below, I want to know so I know what to say at the beginning of these videos. Back in June, I posted a video about a genius hack for digital Etsy sellers that can allow you to sell personalized wall art with easy pre-made templates. Wall art like you see here, which means that you are able to capture the high sales volume of personalized gifts without all that time-consuming work involved. It's just a couple of drag and drops. A lot of you guys were wondering about how long it might take to create each order and send it out. So we're going to find out in real time. I have a full tutorial start to finish for y'all. However, before we get into that, let's check out their Etsy store stats because I always like to get those out of the way and show you how much money these stores are making. So, this store is called the Design Parlor. They are actually a UK-based store, so that is super, super cool. They have 23,500 sales. And if we scroll down to their storefront, you can see that their average product price here is approximately $15. Now, there's a little caveat for that one because if you look here, it's $13.50. There's a couple of upgrades that they offer for $5 here. This one is actually $11. But you guys know, if you've seen a few of my videos, that I always price really conservatively. So even though I'm saying it's 15, that is actually a super conservative number because this is a hybrid store, right? So if you want the digital file, it's $11. But if you want a print, the smallest print, for example, is 14.15, and the price goes up depending on which print size you want, or if you even want it framed. They offer frames. So that $15 that I gave you is actually pretty dang conservative. Going down to their feedback here, I always sort it by most recent so I can go see when their very oldest feedback was. And in the case of this store, their very first feedback comes November 25th of 2020. So this store is approaching their 3-year anniversary. And that is super cool because when you take 23,500 sales at a $15 price point or higher, right? Because I'm being conservative, and you divide it amongst those 3 years of being open, that puts their approximate annual sales at $156,000. So within 3 years, this has become a six-figure seller. They're steadily, solidly in that six-figure sales, and they are growing, right? So that is super, super cool. And I do want to point out that because they are a hybrid store, because they do offer physical and digital prints, they are able to really capture a larger customer base. They've nailed both of the Etsy product niches. They can get sellers who are interested in just a digital download that they can print themselves for a more affordable price, and they can get those shoppers who are looking for a actual completed finished product that they can put in a gift bag and give to whoever they're buying a gift for. So that is really, really fantastic, and it does allow them to get more sales faster. And if you do have a digital store and you've been considering adding physical products to it, like canvas prints or framed prints or even poster prints, whatever, make sure you check out Printify. I do have a link below in the video description to Printify. They have tons and tons and tons of different wall art type of options at really affordable prices. So now that you know that they are really raking in the dough, let's take a really quick look at one of their bestseller listings so I can break down some of the tips and tricks that help them stand out. And then we're going to jump over to a full tutorial where I show you how to make these items in a fast, streamlined way so that you can offer personalized products without bogging your time down too much trying to personalize orders. So let's check out one of their bestsellers. And while I'm switching over to this tab, I do want to ask you guys to drop me a comment really quick. Let me know what niche you're in or what you want to learn about the most so that I can plan out my next batch of videos. We are busting into Q4 here, and I want to really get into the good stuff that you want to learn. So I picked this particular product because it's not attached to a holiday. They do have a lot of holiday type stuff. They got some Father's Day, Mother's Day. They have grandparents stuff. They have a lot of wedding stuff as well if we scroll through here. But the one that I have chosen to show you guys, it's actually an Etsy's pick, and it is not attached to a holiday. It is a sister gift, which is super cool. It could be for a birthday present, it could be a Christmas present, it could be just because, or maybe your sister is going through a milestone in her life and you want to get her a gift to celebrate. I don't know, but this is really popular. Probably you've already noticed while I've been yammering on here that there's a new message. Normally, we see with a bestseller or an Etsy's pick tag like this, we'll see a message that says, this is in 20 plus people's carts. But Etsy has upgraded things a little bit, which really works out well for us because now we can see if something has been bought by a lot of people. So this says 2 people bought this in the last 24 hours. I think that's really cool because it does add a little bit of that confidence that, oh, other people are buying this, it must be good. I personally like the this is in 20 plus people's carts because I think 20 is a much bigger number than 2, so it's more impressive to me. But I do think that this is a cool new way to showcase things. And I'm sure Etsy is over there. They got their little data analyst somewhere in a back room trying to run the numbers and see which types of these messages gets more sales. So either way, this is going to shake out for whatever will bring us the most sales. But I did want to point that out because it is new and it is kind of cool. Now, not only is this super popular, not only is it Etsy's pick, it has really got a couple of things going for them in terms of desirability. So they have a really cool little video here that makes it look really easy to order. They're showing it on a mobile phone, which makes you feel like, oh, you could order this right from your phone. You don't even need to go to a web browser. It's pretty easy. It's pretty simple. Now, they don't even have all 10 images here, so I do want to point that out. Most of their images give you a overview of the different options that you can choose for hair, clothes, um, skin tones, and all of those things. They have a lot of different options, which is pretty awesome as well. In terms of their SEO, there's definitely some room for improvement, but their SEO strategy is really clear. They are relying on repetition and they're focusing on the main keywords of sister and gift. And we see here custom birthday gift for sister. So repetition and plurals are really strong in this title. And there's a lot of other Etsy experts who will tell you do not have repetition in your title because you are wasting space. You're wasting valuable characters. I don't necessarily believe that. If I was the seller, I would not change this because obviously it's working. They've managed to become an Etsy pick. So obviously they should leave this alone. They should not make changes to the SEO. And I did want to point that out. Don't try to fix what isn't broken. you can actually affect the way that the algorithm reads your listing. I don't know a whole lot about how algorithms work on the back end, but what I have learned in the last 15 years of selling on Etsy and what I've learned by being married to a data scientist or a data analyst is that there's a specific way algorithms are coded to analyze the information that we put into our listings. And they're going to read this title on Etsy's back end a specific way. They're going to pull out specific phrases and they're going to apply those phrases in terms of how relevant they are to a customer's search. So if you have it listed here as sister gift, then every time someone types into Etsy search bar sister gift, you're more likely to pop up at the top of that search. The same is true when someone types in personalized gift sister or gifts for her or sister's custom birthday gift. There's all these different searches that you might be popping up for. But if you change this title in any way, the algorithm is going to read it differently and it may adjust how you rank in terms of relevancy for these searches, even for minor changes. It will basically try to apply the new layout of your title to those searches and it shakes up totally different. It could be completely different. So I do want to point that out because algorithms can be tricky. And a lot of these videos on YouTube are trying to teach you ways to hack the algorithm or outsmart the algorithm or get the most value out of your words to attract sales and pop up in searches. And all of those things are very, very important. But you do not want to make changes to things that are already working well. Looking at their tags here, we see those same kinds of concepts for gift for her, personalized gift, gifts for her, plural, personalized gifts, plural, sister print, gift for sister, birthday gift sister, sister gifts, plural, Christmas sister, sister's gifts, plural on the sisters instead of the gift, and then gift for sisters. So a lot of repetition. And then we do see a couple things in here that are unique, like auntie print and Christmas sister. And then, of course, down here you have sister personalized. Typically, you would want a little bit better variety in your tags. And I do talk in my SEO cheat sheet and even more in depth in my SEO planning and strategy set. You can find both of those at my resource links in the description. I do talk about how you should choose your keywords and what kind of balance you want to go for. But like I said before, I'm like hammering it home in this video. If it is working, leave it alone. It is selling really well for them. Okay, so now that we've gotten all the technical stuff out of the way, let's look at how you could actually fulfill one of these orders. And I am going to actually use Canva because it's free and I can just pull all of my elements right in there without a lot of hassle. Which reminds me, I have another awesome freebie that is all about Canva font pairing. So if you want to do a product like this, you want to have probably a personalizable little quote and some names on here. My Canva fonts freebie will help you see beautiful fonts that pair really well together. And there's also some downloadable fonts for commercial use in that package as well. It's pretty comprehensive little freebie there. So it can really save you some time. So that is also at my resources link down below. Lots and lots and lots of good stuff down there for you to go check out. And if you're feeling generous and want to buy me a coffee, that really does help support this channel as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started here. Before we jump over to Canva, we're actually going to go to Creative Fabrica. The first thing you want to do is grab the elements you like the best from Creative Fabrica. And I do have the other video, the one I mentioned at the beginning of this video, that goes more into depth about the different options on Creative Fabrica for art like this. So I'm going to put the card to that at the top here. And for time's sake, I'm just going to grab one specific design that I already kind of picked out. And there is a free trial to check out Creative Fabrica. That link is also below. Tons of good stuff, all the links. You can open your shop and save even more money because you do not want to have a bunch of startup costs when you're launching a new business. So let's actually jump over to Canva now that we have the art we're going to use and see how fast and easy it is to design the actual product. And really quickly here, this picture here is what we're going to make. It's very similar to the example I showed you from the store before, but it is not exactly the same because I do want to point out, just in case I haven't said this in a while, we don't ever want to directly copy another seller's work. We want to make it our own. We want it to be unique somehow. And if possible, we even want it to be better than what's already out there being sold on Etsy. So don't forget to make this your own somehow and really put your own unique spin on it. That being said, I'm also doing this very, very quickly. So I'm trying to do this tutorial as fast as I can without missing any important elements. So when you're doing this in real life, take more time and energy to make sure it looks beautiful. I'm not going to put a ton of thought behind the design elements here because I'm trying to go fast. So I did want to point that out. Now, the first thing that we're going to do is start a new project in Canva. If you don't have Canva, I should have a link down below, so make sure you go sign up for Canva. It is free. So for this design, so that it'll print beautifully, I'm going to do it in a 16-inch by 20-inch size. So I'm going to click bar, I'm going to type in the size that I want, and just choose one of these options like the canvas print one, for example, because it's the size that I need. That's super fast, super easy. My design is going to pop open, and I'm doing this in Canva free so that you can see exactly how it's basically going to work and what your download options are here. You can see here that it'll download in the 1600 by 200 pixel size. Everything's perfect right in the free version of Canva. So the first thing I'm going to do is upload the design files that I downloaded from Creative Fabrica. And because this particular design has elements that you personalize based on the order, there's lots of different choices here for hair and skin tone, shirt color, I think even pants color. So I'm just randomly going to grab 2 of each so that I can have one for each sister and add them into my uploaded files template. So when you're doing this, it's going to be personalized based on what the customer specifically wants. If you have a customer that says, I want brown hair or I want blonde hair or whatever. Once you have the files chosen for the personalized body that you need for each sister, you're going to want to start to build your design. Now, the first time you build this will be the longest because you have to create the design from scratch. So I'm going to take a second here and I'm going to add a nice little gradient circle into the background to make it look really nice and really pretty. And like I said before, I'm not taking a lot of time and energy to do this because I'm trying to be as fast as possible for you guys. So make sure you find something that you think is going to look really nice and really elegant. One cool thing about Canva here is that you can adjust things. So you can change the colors, the tints, the style. You can put filters on it if you want things to have um, a certain look or to get things to that exact color that you're really kind of looking for. So there's a lot of different filters. There's a lot of different styles here that you can kind of play with. And a lot of these things are totally free for Canva. The few features that I think you have to actually have premium for are things like removing the background. I'm not going to use any of those in today's design. So I'm just picking a nice gradient circle here that I can use behind the 2 sisters so it looks nice and lovely. And you will see a little crown on some of these graphics. That means that those are exclusive to the Pro account. Just ignore those. Scroll down to the ones that do not have the crown. It's not as big of a selection, but when you're just starting out, there should be enough for you to choose something nice that will actually work well for your design without paying a ton of money. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this gradient because I can actually change the colors, which means if a customer came along and wanted this personalized to their color scheme in the future, I'm not looking for a new gradient. I can just quickly swap out the color on this one. Now, you're going to want to have text on the top and bottom. This one that they sell is personalized with names, so we're going to want to keep that in mind. You can use some of the pre-made text that they have here in Canva if you like, just to make things fast and easy. Don't forget, I do have that beautiful Canva font pairing guide, so you can go ahead and cheat and save yourself some time by downloading that freebie. The link is down below. I'm just doing this the fastest possible way. I'm going to grab this text here. I'm going to edit it. I'm going to take some time to come up with a couple of names. 𝒂𝒏 and Louise sounds good. Size it how I want it to be. And of course, I don't want it to look all blurry like this. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the effect and just make it normal, basic text. Super easy. I'm going to copy this, pull it right down to the bottom, and put my little sisters forever down here. And then they have a little heart here. Like I said, I don't want to directly copy it. I want it to be unique and I want it to be something my own, but I do love the idea of the heart, so I'm going to kind of do something similar, avoiding these pro versions, of course. And I'm just going to adjust things as I go so that it looks nice on the page and it has a nice little layout. And I'm just going to make 2 hearts to make mine a little bit different. I'm going to size it and color it and turn it till I like how it looks. Fast and easy as possible here without dragging you guys through a bunch of layout stuff. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is add the little saying that they have at the bottom. And this you want to be in a different font probably so that it's still unique looking, but not detracting away from the main words like Sisters Forever and the name. So I literally just Googled a common sister quote because I'm trying to be fast here. When you make this, probably you want to put a little bit more sentiment behind the saying, but I'm just trying to be practical at the moment. So I'm just going to type my saying, size it how I want it, and play around with the fonts until I find one that I like, or save myself some time and use the font pairings that I have in my cheat sheet. And once I have that, I'm ready to start adding those design files that I uploaded into Canva earlier. So I'm going to add 2 sisters, and then I'm going to take the layers here and I'm going to group them together so that um, they're all together per sister. So one sister's hair, clothes, etc. are together, and the other sister's hair, clothes, etc. are together. And Canva does allow us to just kind of drag these layers around, so I really love that. That's a nice feature. So now that I have them separated, I'm going to pick all of the layers for the first sister and center them, and then just pull it off to the side. Then I'm going to go back to the layers, get all the layers for the second sister, center them, and pull it to the other side. Now, the more time-consuming thing is that I need to flip all of these over so that the 2 sisters are leaning together, and I can't flip them all as a group. So I have to go back and select each individual layer and then just flip it horizontally here so that the sister is leaning the other direction. Super easy, takes a couple seconds. And then I can select those again. I'm going to group them together and then group together the first sister. And now I'm just going to adjust the sizing to get them sitting together so they're leaning, and then sized on my canvas how I want them to be. So pretty easy, pretty simple. I'm actually going to make one sister a little bit bigger than the other, like an older, younger sister kind of thing. And that's pretty much it. They look exactly how they need to look here. So I'm going to put them in the center of the canvas. And I'm going to play around with the size till it looks the way that I want. And that's pretty much it. That's literally a super simple way to put together a product that is selling like crazy for multiple sellers on Etsy. So very cool, very easy. And once you have this kind of set up the way you want it and you've made all of these last little tweaks and things, you have your template. So every time you get an order, you can just adjust the colors, you can adjust the names. It's streamlined. You can import the new hair colors and skin colors, shirt colors, whatever it is that they order for their specific order. They'll have all these options that you give them. And you can just quickly click as you get new orders, the ones that you've already uploaded. So they will be saved in your library for faster, easier access. Each time you get an order that has those same elements, it just gets faster and faster from there. So that is one really great thing that I love about using Canva for these types of designs. And then, of course, the last step is going to be downloading this. You're going to want to download it probably as a PNG that typically has the best file resolution for the clearest image. And then you're also going to want to download this as a PDF print if you're selling it as a digital download so that you can give your buyers multiple options. So I always would include the PDF print, and you're going to want to come over into the settings here and change this to CMYK because that is the best for professional printing. That's typically what printers have is CMYK inks. So everything will stay looking beautiful and not get distorted. The colors won't get altered in any way. So you can then just click download, and then those are the files that your buyer would get when they make a purchase. You can just go ahead and email these files directly to your customer once they are finished and you have them ready to go. So now you can see how quick and easy this really was. And it doesn't take too much time to just go down your list of orders in the morning or whenever you sit down to do your work, make each order using the different names, and then send them off to your customers or add the order into Printify. And if you don't already know how to add orders into Printify and you'd like to see me do a tutorial on that, please comment down below and let me know. I don't want to take the time to do it if everybody already knows how to do it because there are other tutorials on YouTube, but I would love to put that together if you want to see it. And you could even take this one step further. In addition to selling wall art things, you could even put this on coffee mugs. You could put this on t-shirts. I don't know about you, but I love to give coffee mugs to people. So imagine having you and your sister or you and your bestie or your mom or whoever on a coffee mug and giving that as a gift. It's a great, great idea that's actually in pretty well demand. So, if you're considering the pros and cons of POD versus digital or even a hybrid store like this one, make sure you check out my POD versus digital niches video to see which is the best option for you and your specific niche. You can watch that one here.